opposition to the use of foreign mercenaries to address the country's security challenges, insisting that such measures do not offer a sustainable solution. Instead, the government has expressed a strong interest in collaborating with China to localize the production of military equipment, thereby reducing reliance on external procurement and the delays associated with it. This stance was emphasized during a joint press briefing by Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs Ambassador Yusuf Tugar and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi at the presidential villa in Abuja. The Chinese foreign minister was on an official visit to Nigeria to strengthen bilateral ties. Now, join us to discuss this. We have a security expert and executive director at Elixir Trust Foundation, Mr. Emmanuel Ukule. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Ukule.
Much for having me.
Now let's start with, let's get straight to it. What are the potential security risks associated with employing foreign mercenaries in Nigeria's fight against insecurity?
For a lot of countries that have been using or tried to get foreign help to come and aid in tackling issues of insecurity like the one we are currently facing, such countries also means opening your borders for others to be aware of certain intel that should actually be internal to your government. So when you bring people that are alien to your country or not back from your country to come and address those concerns, you certainly share certain intel, certain information that helps them to go to the field and address such concerns. So that is one. Secondly, some of these persons also have, some of these groups or mercenaries also have their own intention coming to such countries. Some of them may even have affiliation with even some of these insurgents or terrorists in one way or the other. Because at times where you fail to also play your own part of the bargain, maybe at the end of their tenure or time, that after they have helped in addressing that concern, and you fail in fulfilling your own part of maybe the payment or something, they may as well also become terrorists in your own country. Or aid those persons they have come to actually push out, to come back and actually fight you better. So there are issues like this lingering, but in a situation where you have law enforcement officers in thousands, and if you put them together, they are in millions, by failing to address concerns of people that we can say they are less than 10,000 in the whole of northern Nigeria, then you are seeing it that maybe that can be an alternative, because we have tried using that before, and to an extent it actually aided during Goodluck Jonathan's tenure before elections.
Now, Emmanuel, just today, speaking in Aso Villa, the Chinese foreign minister did mention that China was going to support Nigeria in terms of manufacturing of weapons, so we don't have to look outside when we want to procure hardware for our military. I believe we have the Defense Corporation of Nigeria, DICON, is a company in Nigeria, run by the Ministry of Defense, that produces small arms. How much of good news is this, and what are the implications?
For me, it's not good news, because it's not that we don't have the resources to address this concern. It's a lack of political will and a lack of willingness on the part of law enforcement officers to actually address these concerns. If you look at the report of the last administration, of Buhari's administration from 2015 to 2023, there were a lot of funds being spent. For the Air Force, we had about 38 aircraft that were actually ordered, were actually purchased, and we have 36 ordered aircraft. For the military, you had numerous names. At the same time, you had about 700 that were actually being put together in Nigeria. That means before now, Nigeria, to an extent, have also been working towards having our own kind of mini factory that put together some of these machines together for our own use. For the Navy, also had about 400 or more added to what we had before the administration started supporting with any funds.
Now, but Emmanuel, don't you see an advantage in us producing our own? Because you said it's not so much of good news. If you do recall, during the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, the United States refused to sell arms to Nigeria, citing what it called the Leahy laws. The Leahy laws prevent America from selling weapons to countries with dubious human rights records, and we know how much of a fix we're in because we couldn't get this weapon. So is it not a positive thing for us to be self-sufficient when it comes to weapons production?
From my own angle and how I'm looking at it, if a country like ours produces new weapons, which is good, but of what use? Because the ones we have currently have not been put into use yet. Why? If the one we currently have been put into use, we won't even be having this discussion because those issues would have been addressed. That is what I'm saying. So producing new ammunitions, it's not authorization to use them. It doesn't mean that the manpower or the personnel we have on ground will go into the field to address this concern. In a whole year, you may hear of only 3 times or 4 times that the Navy have gone into the field. And you may hear about 10 times or once monthly that the military have gone into the field. This has been lingering for how many years? Recently, there's also another terrorist group also coming up. So what I'm saying is, no matter the number of ammunitions we produce, if there's no political will, it's not just by the press conferences they have, in dishing out information to the press to put out there that we're actually doing something. It's going into the field physically and addressing these concerns. That is what the Nigerians are looking at. Till date, citizens are paying rent to go to Lukurawa in Sokoto State and other places. Till date. The ammunitions we have not used them. That is what I'm saying. So let us use the one we have, and then partnership is fine because even the Police Act even permits using getting technical expertise to come and improve or build our capacity areas, which is good.
Okay, Emmanuel, before I let you go, in your opening statement, you did express reservations against the use of mercenaries, but you do understand that no country is an island. You also did allude to the fact that we tried this arrangement during the administration of Goodluck Jonathan. Your reasons being intelligence sharing and sovereignty, but what are the technological and intelligence sharing challenges that may arise if foreign mercenaries were involved in Nigeria's security operations?
Currently, the Nigerian military have not shown that they have capacity in manning certain equipments. In the last year, there have been deaths caused by misuse of drone or lack of proper control of certain equipments that have led to the deaths of citizens. So bringing China into the mix, they have the capacity, technical capacity in the area of technology that will help us to be able to do better if really those poor handling of those equipments was not deliberate. At the same time, for a country like China that's currently have information or they have presence in almost the 54 African countries and have borrowed about 46 African countries funds already, you'll start thinking about certain things. And some of the African countries now are looking inwards to see how they can put those informations together. So for me, they should have a duration through which China can stay and do that. And there should also be limits to what we can open up to them. Already, we know that we are being monitored by different countries in Nigeria. And we have also given our data because since 2015 or thereabout, our data in this country has already been, the government have contacted foreign bodies to be submitting our data and all that to them. So to an extent, we are open, already in the open. So But there should be
So
limits to the
I get your point, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. We need to be measured in terms of our security partnerships and also keep our sovereignty and integrity in check. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Ikule, security analyst, for your contributions.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.